Yo, we finally made it. We finally
Yo, what
made
up?
it.
What up?
What up? Sorry for the technical difficulties, y'all, but we are in the building. Had to it was on my end. One of my computers don't want to work properly and kept dragging. So here we are, men of letters. Welcome to the live podcast. I am Shad,
I am Kobe.
and we're here to freak you the fuck out. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just Minnesota up here, state fair season. So my
Nice,
dumb
nice.
self went 2 days in a row, so I'm a little worn out.
Oh, wow. Out there in the sun.
Yeah, but it's been a good time.
Ugh.
How about yourself?
Man, good. Had a nice weekend. So um, last week was pretty dope, pretty easy. So here we are, man. Here we are.
What's up? That's what's up. That's what's
Yeah,
up.
yeah. So were there any performances at the state fair you went to go see or
I didn't see. I
anything
just
like
went
that?
there. Got a partner in town. And then the night before, Friday night. I met my girl up there, so I just up there just to
Okay,
be up there. A
right.
lot of walking, so my feet kind of hurt, but that's okay.
Burn some calories.
Yeah, burn all that food
That's
I was eating out there.
yeah. Okay. I like it. So for those who don't know, we are brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're
And
colored. Give
give
me
me
a
a
high.
high.
Oh wait, I gotta go over here. I gotta
Yeah,
go. My camera's over here,
it's
not
right,
over
right
here.
here.
Right. Yo, so we have a pretty interesting show for you guys today. That you don't know, we kind of talk about the paranormal, the supernatural, aliens,
Strange.
strange
Anything
stuff.
above. We love anything weird, anything conspiracy. As far as right, what will you think? We're not into political conspiracy. We're into like
Yeah,
other
yeah, right.
conspiracies, like the real
Yeah,
stuff.
the real stuff. Stuff that really matters, not the politics. I know that that's important to people. I get it, but
Definitely.
it's a lot deeper than that. This is a lot deeper than
Right.
that. So, and we love the things that go bump in the night. So,
Mm.
and we don't believe in all the conspiracies. We don't
Over and
believe
over.
in everything that we see, but we do that. We think that it's fun. And anything that seems real and authentic. We really love to take a deep dive into that stuff. So if you
Right.
like the weird, if you like the quirky, you like the nerdy, this is the show for you.
Anything to kind of
And
get you thinking, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I got to give Kobe credit. Like he came up with the notes for last week's show and this week's show by himself and did a hell of a job. So we got a good one for you today.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
No doubt. No doubt, man. So you want to go ahead and lead us off?
So I think you know more about this topic than I do, but I think the first topic is the Anunnaki. What's really interesting about them, in my opinion, that you can kind of give them more of the I guess the lore, right?
Yeah.
Is that when you look at their story and you look at what's been researched about them, um, how much of like religious texts are kind of resemble the things that they discuss. So it's very interesting, like in most of like the creation, and things like of that nature, like kind of like the same narrative. So I think it's really dope. I didn't I didn't really get into I'm not saying the name right. You can correct me, bro. Is it Inky? I got to kind of get into that. That's kind of an interesting
Oh yeah, the
thing
book.
that I got
Book
into.
of Mormon.
And then
Yeah.
Enoch is super. Some I didn't get into too much, but from what I've got to kind of look at, he's more of a what people could kind of break down as like a demigod in a sense. But you know more than I do. I don't know, but you know obviously.
Yeah. So Enoch, and Enoch was actually, he was in the Bible, but they
Okay.
rewrite it and they do all that stuff. They left the Book of Enoch out, and when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, they actually discovered, some of those books were left out. Enoch, the Book of Enoch being one of them, and the Book of Enoch. I guess his bloodline. He has a I know you said demigod. He's a human, but he never died. He went to heaven without dying, basically.
Okay.
And he is the great grandfather of Noah, or he might be the great grandfather, either the great or the great grandfather. I think Noah's dad was Methuselah or something like that, and
You know what I do.
yeah, but he was actually in the Bible in the so if and the thing how that kind of how the Anunnaki are kind of related to that is he saw the Anunnaki as fallen angels. Um, they're fallen angels who came from who were what they call sons of God basically, and they came to Earth and made it with humans and had giants, aka Nephilims and all that. But the Anunnaki themselves are alien beings from the planet Nibiru, and they came to Earth maybe 500,000 years ago. Because this is just the story goes. This is just a story. They came to Earth 5,000 years ago or 500,000 years ago because their planet was dying, and they needed gold because they had restorative properties. They needed gold to fix their atmosphere, or as the story goes. And one of the guys who really dug into it deep was Stitchen. I can't think of his first name right now. He was a German archaeologist, and he actually uh, kind of he kind of made them popular for the most part. But the ancient Sumerians and the Babylonians, they're like the first civilization of man. They're the ones who talk about the Anunnaki, and a lot of our texts in the Bible and other religions pretty much borrowed from their stuff. So, and the Anunnaki, they masqueraded as gods, basically on Earth.
And not just to put a caveat, we're not trying to discredit the Bible and its text.
Nope.
This is just, you know,
This is where it came from.
I guess it's not. Yeah, it's kind of. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Yeah, because Sumerians are definitely the oldest civilization that we are aware of.
Yep, yep. Sumerians, the Arcadians, like I said, the Babylonians who came, a little bit after them. This is, again, this is their story, and other religions basically were born of this. Not all, but others. And I got a video. You want me to show that video, Kobe?
Whatever you want to do, bro. You kind of like broke it down in a consumable way, if you want to give people kind of a visual of what you're talking about.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll play that first one.
Okay.
That you sent me. Let me share my screen here, and this will give the people a little breakdown of it. All right, and it's 8 minutes. We won't necessarily show the whole thing, but we'll show a few minutes. Hey, you can see that?
Yep.
Civilizations is full of great events and mysteries that arouse the curiosity of many. Many wonder how it was possible for human beings to evolve so rapidly compared to other species that had already existed on our planet. Ancient peoples, through their religions, have tried to offer answers about the creation of the world and the odd creative capacity of humanity.
Fair use.
Perhaps the answer to this dilemma can be found in the text written by what was the first organized civilization in history, the Sumerians. The Sumerian civilization emerged in Mesopotamia around 4500 BC. Over time, it was responsible for building large cities and creating the first system of writing, known as cuneiform writing, on clay tablets. During archaeological excavations in 1849 in Iraq, 14 clay tablets with Sumerian writings were found. The translation of the text revealed one of the most fantastic stories of all time, the story of the Anunnaki gods. According to the Sumerian manuscripts,
so-called gods, they weren't really gods.
So,
they
question.
Were flesh and bone. Yeah.
Question: this whole part where they're from a different planet, that's in the Sumerian. They got that from the Sumerian text. So they're talking about aliens back in how long ago was this, bro?
This was over 5,000 years ago. But and that's just as far as back as we can date. We have to think it's older than that. But yeah, I mean, who's talking about aliens for 5,000 years?
Yeah, like that's wild. That's wild to me, and it's wild that we haven't discussed that more. But
Right. Because to make the tablets, the cuneiform tablets, to write all that's difficult
clay,
to do.
that's a clay tablet,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's crazy.
that's difficult to do. And they
That's
did it
really
in a way
crazy.
that we would have it forever. You know what I'm saying?
You
And
can always find it.
you can always
So
find
they,
it. Right.
so they knew that they wanted people who come after them to find these. They wanted them to find them.
Yeah, they, it was basically their gift to, their descendants,
Mankind.
to us, yeah, to mankind. So, and again, these are the Sumerians who did this. These were humans.
Yeah, we're not talking about the Anunnaki.
Right, right,
Right.
right,
Okay.
right. So, and like I said, the Sumerians, they believe that the Anunnaki, seeded the earth. And but we'll talk more about it. I'll keep showing the video here.
There is a planet at the ends of the solar system called Nibiru. Every 3,600 years,
So
it
that's the
enters
planet
an
that the
orbit
Anunnaki are
close
from.
to the planet Earth. Nibiru was the home planet of the Anunnaki, who were experiencing difficulties because the climate and atmosphere of the planet were changing rapidly, making it difficult to produce food and therefore to survive. It was necessary to use advanced methods of technology, alchemy, and magic to reverse this situation.
Magic is science we don't understand.
To do so, a large amount of gold was needed, since this metal has purifying properties capable of resisting even cosmic radiation. However, gold was a rare resource in Nibiru, and without other alternatives, the Anunnaki used their advanced technology and sent ships into space in search of the precious golden metal. After a long and tiring search, they arrived on planet Earth about 445,000 years ago, where they were the first astronauts to cross space and colonize another planet. The planet Earth was inhabited only by wild animals such as mammoths, saber-toothed tigers, and some apes. The Anunnaki settled in Mesopotamia and built a wonderful city called Eridu. In this city, there was a splendorous garden full of fruit trees and animals. The garden created by the Anunnaki was named Eden, and the first favorite place of the astronaut gods. Shortly after, gold extraction began in underground mines. To do the heavy tasks, they brought with them slaves from another alien race.
Okay, so that's incorrect. The GG were not slaves. They were a working class, but they weren't slaves.
Question.
Yeah.
So where is modern Mesopotamia right now? Where would that be considered?
That's in it's in the Middle East, like Iraq, over that area. Yeah.
Okay.
How do you say it's scary? We weren't even talking about nothing scary.
I just put it up there to laugh at it. So.
We're gonna get to that, but like,
isn't this name isn't EG or isn't that like some type of? Isn't he a god in some type of Greek mythology? I think that or am I making it a Roman?
I've never heard of him, but the Greek, like as far as in the Greek mythos, but the Anunnaki are basically the Greek gods. So the Greek, so some people say it's mythology. It's not mythology. It was Greece religion. It's not mythology. It was their religion.
No disrespect. Yeah, I didn't mean to be.
No, nothing to you. I said mythos. You know what I mean? So the Anunnaki, the Greek gods were representations of the Anunnaki. So, and then like you said, the Egyptian gods, they were representation gods of the Anunnaki. All these people talk about the Anunnaki. What is it? Hinduism. The Hindu gods, they're Anunnaki. Like even here in North America, with the Native Americans, their gods, and South America, they're the Anunnaki. Like it's all connected. I mean, it's almost common sense once you read the stories and study it. So we say y'all the new essay. I don't know what that means. You know what that means, Kobe?
I have no idea. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it was. But I'll keep showing this video. But the GG were not slaves. They're just a working class of
So according to this video, I can cheat for you if you want me to. They say there's an uprising.
That happened.
Okay, so all right.
Yep, that did happen. Because they were tired of because they were on Mars and they were on Earth, and they were tired of the working conditions, and and they wanted mates. So, and I don't know if they talk about that in this as well, but they wanted women basically. But I'll keep playing
the Igigi. After years of forced labor and humiliation,
but it wasn't
the Igigi
forced.
rebelled against the Anunnaki, giving rise to the first war on Earth. The Igigi were defeated and decimated. The Anunnaki needed new workers. The solution.
Okay, sorry, that's not what happened.
So okay, according to what happened?
So the Igigi, I think he's saying it right. It's the Igigi. But they were going to win that war. They're going to win that war basically, and Lil and Inky, just like, hey, okay, what do you want? Let's negotiate. So they negotiated. They negotiated a deal with the GG. They gave them women, and they improved the working conditions. But in the meantime, not in the meantime, but they also promised that they would make things easier for them. So they created. That's when they came up with the idea to create man from because there were already beings here. They were kind of human, but not really, like the Homo erectus, Neanderthal, and all that. So they basically used them and basically used their DNA, put their DNA into them, and it took trial after trial, but they finally created us. And
they kind of talk about that in the video.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll keep playing it here.
You can kind of skip this whole war or whatever. Just let it play out.
We'll let it play out.
Yeah.
Was to create a new race of intelligent beings able to work, but more harmless than the Igigi. The Anunnaki combined their genes with the ancestors of human beings, creating a hybrid and submissive race at their command. This genetic fusion did not go very well at first. Strange beings came to life, like the Nephilim giants, which, although extraordinarily strong, were devoid of intelligence and self-control. The first man to emerge from this successful genetic combination was named Adamu. Compared to human beings, the Anunnaki were incredibly tall.
Adamu was the first man, but they basically it was like the group of the first humans. It was a group of them. It wasn't just him. It wasn't Adam and Eve. You know what I mean? Like it was they called their first version of man Adamu, all of them. So let me go through here. And the Nephilim, I don't think that's the Nephilim created under those type of circumstances, but they were making some pretty weird.
Isn't Nephilim something talked about in like Nordic like mythos, like go to Nephilim, right? That's where you go to, like, underworld. Or am I making that up?
Wasn't Loki from? Wasn't Loki? What's that?
Aren't ice giants from there? Sorry,
yeah.
Is that where they're from? Nephilim?
Yeah. They were. So
this is weird.
The word Nephilim is in the Bible, so
that's weird.
So this is just a different take on it. Stuff I've heard, I've never heard it played out like that. But I mean, the gist is there's these alien beings who came from another planet and seeded the planet and created us. So I'll keep playing it here.
Tall and strong, and their weapons will be more than enough to control another possible rebellion.
So basically saying the Anunnaki, they were bigger than us, they're stronger than us, and they were more advanced.
Over time, humans developed the ability to speak and learn from the Anunnaki, to take care of plantations and build houses made of clay and stone. The Anunnaki came to like human beings. They even allowed them to live in their city and attend the sacred garden.
Can you pause this real quick?
Sure.
Well, you gotta explain this real quick from what our knowledge is. So I think most people read this as that giant dude is a king, and the little people are humans, or the
or the slave,
the slaves.
servants, or the servants.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think that's Anunnaki, right? The big giant person is Anunnaki. The
Yep.
little people are humans.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That is true. And I don't know how they would even. I don't know how we even ever thought that was a king, and those were just servants or slaves. Like, I mean, why is he so big?
I thought maybe they're making out of, maybe you would think, symbolism,
Yeah.
or some type of. But I mean, if you kind of look at that thing, the giant, it doesn't look all that whatever. I mean,
Right. But
yeah,
they look like. I mean, we look like
we look
them.
like them, yeah. So
Right. So
that's a weird argument, but yeah.
right. Yeah. So we it's we look more like them than we did our our ancestors. Like the Homo erectus, Neanderthals, and stuff like that. Keep going here.
Gave explicit orders not to reproduce too much. Against the will of the gods, human beings began to procreate
Again,
quickly,
they weren't really gods,
which caused overpopulation in the city. Many people were expelled from Eden and Eridu and condemned to live in exile in wildlands.
So is that something that you've ever heard?
After a few millennia,
that the reason why they're upset with humans could be that we're just getting in too much.
I haven't heard that.
Okay.
I have not heard that. Now there is something in these I think it's the Emerald tablets where they talk about how Enlil, who was Enki's brother, Enlil basically ruled the heavens or so, but he didn't like humans. He said humans were too loud, and so he caused the flood. That's one story. Another story is that Nibiru, it got too close, a celestial event. It got too close, and it messed the earth up, and it melted the polar ice caps, and that's what caused the flood. So it's not very clear. And I think they talk about that in this as well.
They talk about the flood, so yeah, definitely to play out.
Okay.
Yeah, the planet Nibiru approached the Earth again. Nibiru's gravitational field was so strong that it adversely affected the Earth's natural conditions.
Okay, so it's a little bit
There
different.
was an increase in the temperature of the planet, and the glaciers melted, rapidly raising the level of the oceans and causing constant rain. A great flood ravaged the Earth, and the city of Eridu was doomed to submerge. To save their creation,
I think
the
might have been
Anunnaki
Noah's
created
flood.
large boats that floated for days to normal water level. In this part, it is not clear whether the boats floated on the water or whether the boats were ships hovering in the sky. After their city was destroyed, the Anunnaki decided to return to Nibiru. But before they left, they gave human beings knowledge of architecture, mathematics, music, and writing. They also taught them how to establish a monarchy system, where some leaders kept their bloodline inherited for the Anunnaki pure, with the right to command others. They also ordered the construction of temples known as ziggurats, aligned with the constellations. These would one day guide the Anunnaki back to Earth. The Sumerian texts do not determine how many Anunnaki there are, but they quote some as the main ones. The most powerful deity in Sumerian mythology was An, or Anu, according to Akkadian calligraphy. Anu was the personification of heaven and possessed infinite wisdom. He was the oldest and most venerable of the gods, with sanctuaries in almost all Sumerian cities.
That's where they got it from.
The goddess Ki represented the earth and Anu's wife. The union between Anu and Ki gave birth to Anunnaki, a word that can be translated as children of heaven and earth.
That tracks.
The first Anunnaki was Enlil, lord of the air, winds, storms,
he did not
and
like
responsible
humans.
for keeping heaven and earth at a safe distance. Enki was the mighty god of the oceans and rivers, the patron of the city of Eridu.
That's Enlil's brother. He loved humans.
Later, his cult reached other peoples such as the Canaanites, Hittites, and Horites. The moon also had a ruler, Nana.
Right, so we can
probably you can we don't care.
But some of that stuff,
I think that's cool. I just if anybody, we get the gist. It's kind of a lot like Greek mythology, Roman mythology, in that sense. I don't, but I think it's Christianity
because in the Old Testament, a lot of people miss it. The God Jehovah, he said, let's make man in our image.
Our image.
Our image. Who's we? Do we speak French now? Like there's more than one. You know what I mean?
I lost my train of thought. But then, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking though. It's crazy. And so you're saying who didn't like humans now?
And Lil didn't. He wasn't necessarily a fan of humans. He just saw humans as servants, you know, to do the work. Where Inky did not, and they went behind in Lil's back, and but they made humans smarter than they were supposed to be, than he wanted them to be. They made them smarter. Um, but and when he found out about it, he wasn't very happy about it. And then also that it was Inky and their sister, and I forgot their sister's name, but they're the ones who their sister was really in charge of creating humans, and you know, putting, you know, Anunnaki DNA in them, and they did something. They made, and Lil and his not and Lil Inky and his sister did something to basically make humans, or gave them the ability to make them, you know, greater than they would be. Basically making them where they could be gods one day themselves. Like they would be able to rival the Anunnaki. And Lil didn't like that. So you know that whole story with the tree of knowledge,
Yeah.
and the apple and all that, and you know the serpent, uh, you know, told Eve to bite the apple, you know, it will give you knowledge, you could be greater than God, and all that stuff. Like your potential is so much, and uh, you know, so she bit the apple, she took it to Adam and told him about it, whatever, and God got mad about it and kicked him out of Eden. That story comes from the Anunnaki story. So
That's Sumerians, bro.
yeah, Sumerians role. So Inky.
So Sumerians, who would they be more aligned with? Would you think?
Like, as far as like the god, or like
What god would they be more aligned with? Yeah,
Inky.
And that would be I don't even. Anyways, all right.
Yeah, I know. But basically, Inky was trying to tell humans, are like, hey, you could be greater than us one day. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, but Jesus said the same thing. Jesus said heaven is within, or Yeshua, whatever you want to call him. He said heaven is within.
So what does Muhammad say?
I don't know. I have no idea what Muhammad said. Don't get me pretending to know the Muslim religion. I do not.
I'm curious. If anybody is from that, I don't know much about it, but I'm wondering like what his.
Yeah.
I
don't know, but I know that you know, the text does say that they capped our lifespan to 120 years, and under the best conditions, you know, science has proven it. Under the best conditions, a human can live up to 120 years. But we used to be able to, like, our ancestors were able to live a lot longer than that. So they capped that. And then Billy Carson says that they put a worship gene in us. I don't know if that's true or not, but
as you can see, like, though we like, yeah, you're a big Billy Carson, you and Pop. Sorry,
I do. Yeah, I don't agree with everything he says, but
yeah, we don't agree with any. Like, so, like, yeah, don't think we're all tinfoil hat over here. Like, but I do think it's interesting. I do think I need to read more about the Anunnaki. I think I just know about the Sumerians based on, I know the old civilization, and I know that after that would be what the Egyptians. No, not the Egyptians, right?
No, it's the I forgot what they're called, because the Egyptians didn't build the pyramids and all that.
No, it was the people before them. It was where Musa from, right?
I think it was Kemet. I think they're from Kemet. I think it was Kemet.
Kemet. Yep, that's it. I was about to say, yep, that's who it is. Because what was it, Masa Musa? He's from that place, right?
You talking about
the richest man? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. You probably know more about that. I don't know who's Masa Musa. Let me look him up. Masa Musa. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Yeah, because there were black people there. because the chemists were black.
Yeah.
Um,
I think the Egyptians are from that's their ancestors.
yeah. The Kemites, they basically sired the Egyptians. Okay, he from the Mali Empire. He wasn't around back then. 'Cause he died in 1337.
Okay.
So this stuff happened way before him. But he might be from that area. Just not from that time.
No, not from the time when things just started. Yeah,
Right.
But I think he's from. Well, yeah. Who cares, honestly? But I think he's from. We'll get in that later. But I know he was like the richest person, and he had a lot of gold. That's what kind of sparked my interest because like they're talking about gold, Anunnaki.
Mm-hmm.
He had so much gold that he messed up Egypt's economy. They said.
Yeah. And
he would just give it away.
Right. Yeah. It started to ring a bell. About him. I have heard his story. Yeah. But
so what was the Mali Empire? What was that?
Nah, dude, I don't know. I don't know if they were like the Huns or.
No, they were African people. They're black people.
Mm-hmm.
The Huns, where are the Huns from? See, we're getting too far into it. See,
yeah, we're getting
like Raw by herself. Let's move along.
Yeah, let's move on. Back to the Anunnaki. but yes, I think that's a very interesting story about Enki. How Enki was actually the one telling humans that you could rival the gods at that like your potential, you can rival the gods. So or the gods or the people who created them, and now that person is painted as the bad guy in the Christian Bible. So in the Christian religion. So it's strange. It's strange. The first time I heard Billy Carson.
Well, the guy that would represent that character, because I mean, it could have been flipped in reverse.
Right.
Because who would that be in the Roman or the Greek religion? There is no bad god.
Prometheus.
Prometheus is.
Yeah, because Prometheus, he gave people fire in the Greek mythology religion, and he was punished to Prometheus had to. I think he's the one that was tied to the rock and the. His liver. There's another one who had to roll a boulder up a hill all the time.
Who's the one who had to hold the world? That was the
Atlas.
Yeah,
Atlas. And he tried to help humans as well. So it's like these people come, they're trying to. And so like his stories in all, at least the religions that I'm familiar with, his stories in there. You know what I mean? And these guys are painted as not good deities. They've been punished, and I'm just like, well, how are you punished because you tried to help mankind further along? You know what I mean? Like, how is that a bad thing? And it wasn't like they were, saying, "Hey, war with one another." You know what
I
mean?
want to talk about this more because, like, me and you like to talk about my favorite subject is the Tower of what is it?
The Tower of Babylon.
Babylon.
Yeah.
And it's like, was that actually a tower? Because like the thing you read is like, it could have been something totally different.
Right. They did something. That pissed off, Enlil, because they do talk about that as well in the Sumerian tablets. It's a little different take on the Babylon, on the Tower of Babylon. It's a little different story, but it's the same thing. You compare the two. You know what I mean? One came from the other. So,
but I just, we can move. I mean, what we're 30 from, we can move on if you want. But I think it's really interesting that these ancient people discussed, like, honestly, space travel. They discussed these people traveling from a different planet, doing whatever they did, and like we would consider that, like, you know what I mean, like that's not real.
Right. But how would they know? Like, how would they know about these
thrown off by? Yeah.
Right. And they know these star systems. They know, like, who told them?
They're more ancient than the Christian religion.
Way more ancient than the Christian religion. Christianity is new in the grand scale of things. It's new.
Like it's like Islam, and then it's not. And it's Islam religion, there's Christianity, and it's like everything
Yeah,
else, basically.
yeah, because
It's interesting.
yeah, it's very interesting. It's just and it's funny because like all these new religions think that they're right. You know what I mean? It's like, but you weren't. I would trust an older religion because it's like, well, you were there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like it's like we it's like we are telling our kids about the civil rights movement, right? But we didn't come from that time. Our parents did. You know what I'm saying? And we're telling them that, hey, whatever our parents told told us or told them or tell them is wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. Okay, this is what really happened. We're gonna tell you the story, but we weren't from that time. We weren't alive. Our parents were. You know what I mean? So who would know the truth? Who would more likely know the truth of what happened
I
in that
think,
time?
and that's why me and you always talk about like how come we can't, like how come there could be a God, you know what I mean?
Oh,
This
for
is
sure.
just a different take in the Bible. Look at the Bible in a different way. It doesn't mean that other religions are also discredited, because
Right.
they have their own way to get to the source, to see
Right.
your creator. That's why I like this conversation, because like it's not discrediting your religion, it's just giving you a
Not at all.
different take of the same kind of narrative.
Yep.
And if you get to I mean, we all get to where we got to get to. Who cares if you get there, right? True.
Exactly. Yeah. Once we go back to the source or get to heaven or whatever, but even the Anunnaki, they believe in a creator. They
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
they
That's
believe in
I
God.
didn't mention that, but yes, yeah,
Yep. They believe in creator, and they felt very strong in the existence of this creator, and they
yeah,
they feared that creator because they I guess there was some type of a rule or whatever where they weren't supposed to do what they did. They weren't supposed to create us. They weren't supposed to come see the earth. They weren't supposed to use us as servants and slaves and stuff like that. And they felt that their creator was going to punish them for doing that. It's like we know better.
mm.
We should be doing it, but we're doing it. You
And
know
so
what I mean?
they stopped. Like, you know what, we're doing wrong.
Right.
Let's try to make it right. Some
Right. So like people like Inky were trying to make it right. So no Inky, and then you can say Atlas, you can say Prometheus, you could say you can say Yeshua. You know what I mean? We're
and then
trying
you
to make it
say,
right.
so we say they created our own image. So if that's the case, we also will do the same thing that they would do. We've done the same things if that was the case that they've done to our own people.
Right. Right. It's exactly. It's like we're made in their image. And it's so funny because
Mm.
it coincides with Christianity. So if you're a Christian, this is a good story for you. You know what I mean? Because it takes you deeper down into the rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? Like who is who is this person? Who is this Jehovah?
And I
You
mean,
know what I mean?
Christianity
Who's he
has
talking
definitely
to?
discussed using slaves and stuff. I mean, oh man, this is interesting.
It's deep, man. It's deep. It's deep. But it's scary too because you're like, well, dang, my whole life is a lie. So this person,
I wouldn't say that. I don't
you know what
think
I'm saying?
that, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's like if you're really deep rooted in this stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then you have your own mind, you decide to think outside the box and just read some other text and see what other things are out there, and you run across this like, holy crap. So what wait, what God is that? Wait, that wasn't a God? Like what? You know what I'm saying? It was flesh and bone. Like what? I you know what I'm saying? It's just like my whole life was like I was told this the whole time, and now I'm discovering this. Like what the Emerald Tablets? What? Yeah, it predates the Bible by 200,000 years. What or whatever it is. You know what I mean? I think it was written. I say it was written like 5,000 years ago, but I think Billy Carter said that's not true. It was written a lot longer ago than that. So
I
um,
mean, that's Billy Carson. Who
that's
knows?
Billy Carson. Yeah, but he has a lot of good points on
Oh, for
stuff.
sure. But I also have, like, we as a crowd, we have to be understanding, like, we
Absolutely.
we can't, you can't take everything everybody says, but I think it's very interesting that these stories keep coming around the way they do. I can't act like I don't see like the line and all this stuff. Like,
Right.
so I think it's very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Me too. You got some more videos on here. You want me to here? I
It's up
can.
to you.
Since
I
we're
mean, I
since
don't know
we're
if you watched the Billy Carson one. We can definitely get into more. If you actually, I think it'd be good to save Inky and save Billy and save Enoch. to kind of come back to it,
Okay.
and give people a chance to do some research on the Anunnaki. If you've never heard of them, because I think it's really interesting that this is what the Sumerian religion was, like the oldest civilization. That this is what they believed in. So when you take it to that grassroots, where they feel like these beings came from a different planet, and now we know as a, intelligent human beings, we can travel at least in space. And they were talking about space before they knew what space was technically.
Before
So
we thought,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, that,
right.
that because our ancestors weren't dumb, you know what I mean? They just weren't. And I believe that there have been six civilizations of man. We're on the sixth one right now, and I can't say the word. A catalysm happens. I'm probably saying it wrong, and it wipes out most of us. And the few survivors, repopulate, and this thing happens all over again. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't that be considered like an e-cycle for like people who know that the Earth does like a reset? That's what the Earth does.
Yeah,
I mean, we know that based off science. It's called the e-cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
The Earth will always live. It's gonna always figure out a way to live. And
yeah, when it's tired of us, it'll spin us off.
Yeah,
which it has done, in my opinion, and the stuff that I've read, at least 6 times. And
I think people want to dive into some of what is it called right now, because we're kind of due if we go off that thought process, we're due to have a collapse, right? But also, have you ever heard of like Yellowstone? That's due to erupt at any time, and that will kill the entire world. So a lot of interesting things going on right now. And we've talked about that since early 2000s. Me, you and Dad. That is due to erupt. They haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's not about a matter of if, it's when.
Yeah.
And the thing I think I read it happens. The cycle's like every 6,000 years, and we're overdue.
We're right up to it though.
Yeah,
I think 2012 was 5,000, right?
I know that from the Mayan calendar. Ended.
That's true.
Yeah. But so I know, like, remember we talked about that. I think in one of our other shows, and
we gotta save that one. Save that one for a little bit later. Oh no, we didn't. No, we didn't talk. It was a little quick tryout. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but yeah, from what I've read, we're about 6,500 years right now.
Okay,
and so
I think Dad could confirm this. If Dad was around, he told me where we're at. But yeah, we're overdue for sure. I know that's the case for sure.
Right. So all the little stuff people be worried about all day, every day. I'm not. I'm like you guys don't have a clue. You guys don't have a clue. We're on borrowed time. You know what I mean? And yeah. So, anyways, again, this stuff doesn't keep me up at night, but it definitely keeps me enlightened. And I don't walk around like everybody else and just like this stuff. I'm like it. I kind of feel like I don't know what do you say? I kind of feel like I don't know. It's the crap that's going on in the world. To me, I'm just like, guys, this is small potatoes. Like, it's deeper than this. It's way deeper than this. Like, even like with the I don't get all excited over politics and stuff like that. Sports. I mean, I like sports, but I like my teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get overexcited about that. I'm like, man, it's deeper than rap. You know what I mean? Like, there's some stuff going on in this world. And let's see here. My boy Sergio, yeah, super deep, yeah,
for real.
He and I we have good conversations about it. Whenever we hang out, and like it's just way deeper than rap, man.
Not to change the subject, but not to make a transition, because I know that's the next thing we're gonna be doing a different segment. But like, I think like that stuff's weird to me, and also what's on this planet is weird. Like, there's things on this planet where like we just don't like a lot of people out here don't think ghosts are real, and I understand that.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, there's too many people who've seen ghosts. There's too many people who've had an encounter with stuff, and like, a lot of stuff is fake that you see on the internet. But I think it's kind of Like I've had my own experiences. You definitely have your own experiences.
Definitely.
And we have a segment in here that like we do like a creepy story. I would like to at some point in the future get other people's real stories and we can just read them.
Yeah.
Like have them just send it to us. I don't know if we do a Discord or whatever, but like you send the story and we read them off on our lives. But like there's been too many weird encounters on our own planet that like I can't. What do you think me and Anunnaki saw like when they came here?
Oh,
they probably
man.
saw some stuff like what the hell is that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like so I'm always curious about that.
Yeah, me too. Definitely. And before we roll off of it, I'm gonna throw this in here real quick. This Billy Carson clip that I found, and I know we're not gonna stay. We're gonna get back to him another time and dig.
I think we have to definitely get into because I have no idea who Enoch is. Like me kind of discussed him in the beginning.
Yeah.
Or like Inky. So like I think it'd be cool to like kind of come back to this next week.
Yeah.
Kind of break it down like that.
Okay, cool. I like that. Let me show this just real quick. And now with the volume, when I turn it down, Kobe, was it better?
I think it's good. The chat can definitely tell us if it's too low to say hey, we can't hear it. I think it sounded good. We can also be able to hear us talk. So yeah. I think that's good.
All right.
Cool. So Anunnaki, what are they?
Well,
these giants.
Yeah. Okay, the Anunnaki, they are these beings that came from off-world.
So these are aliens.
These are aliens. Now, what's interesting about these aliens is that they're not little green men with antenna. Yeah. They're actually hominids, bilateral bipedal hominids. They look just like us.
Okay.
You slice them in half. They have two forward-facing-looking eyes, two hands, legs. They put their pants on one leg at a time, like us.
But do they look more like us or more like us?
We look like them.
That's not what
okay. We actually look like them.
Okay.
And the reason why is because we have their genetics and their DNA inside of our bodies. Now, what's interesting is these beings were a spacefaring race that broke away from the Pleiadian star system. The Pleiadian star system is a group of stars called the Seven Sisters in the night sky. You can see 6 stars with the naked eye. Now, these stars in ancient times, according to ancient texts and tablets, there was an ancient galactic war there.
Okay.
Most of the information from Star Wars comes from this text.
Yeah, it
and
does.
This war, they had these destroyers like Death Stars. They don't.
No, that's true. That's true.
Time out. What? There's a war? Is that in biblical? He said they're in biblical text?
No.
He said ancient text.
It's in the ancient text. Yeah.
Sumerian ancient text.
Sumerian text. So George,
you're telling me that Sumerians are talking about a galactic war in the whatever time? What the fuck?
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. How the heck? What? They're writing about that? A galactic war?
Like Star Wars. Like
Star
lightsabers,
Wars.
Darth Maul killing motherfuckers. Like that type of like what are we talking like? I'm joking, that probably wasn't in it. But I'm saying like a galactic war nonetheless. Oh, a time long ago.
In a
galaxy far away.
Exactly. That's what it is. That's what that was. Of course, they take their liberties. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they're talking about. That's where he got his idea from. It was born from these, these
Sumerian texts.
Yeah, is that crazy?
All right, bro. Go ahead, man.
All right, I'll play a little bit more here, and then we'll move on.
We'll call them that, but they call them the Brahma Astra and Brahma Astra Honda weapons that actually can release a weapon that can destroy planets.
And the Hindus talk about
Imagine if you were in a star system and a planet is being blown up.
Little robot.
Okay.
You got to get
fuck out
off of your planet.
Yeah.
This created something called space refugees. Nobody's talking about this.
Where are you getting this information again? Where is
the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita, the Indian Vedas?
So these are ancient Indian texts.
That's right.
5,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Enuma Elish.
I just want to let
Sumerian.
you know.
Look it up,
but for this entire episode, we're not fact checking.
Okay.
Okay. We're not debating. We're not pushing it. Take us down the rabbit hole. We want to see how deep it goes.
The people can listen to what I'm saying and they can go look all of it up.
Fuck them. Take us down the rabbit hole.
I'm taking you, man.
Okay, let's go.
So we're talking about we're talking about the evidence, the very first evidence of space refugees.
So you're seeing this in these ancient Indian texts.
Yeah.
Okay. You come across this
Mhm.
and you're like, okay, let me see if there's some truth to this because
Yeah.
I'm seeing this across multiple ancient Indian texts.
Right.
Any other text referencing this?
The Terra Papers, an ancient indigenous American text.
This dude knows
as
his
well.
stuff, man. I'm
Okay.
telling you.
Very little known text that hardly anyone talks about.
Yep.
The Hopi tribe elders have written this book based on that text and published it. Actually, it's called the Terra Paper. So that it wasn't just in indigenous lore, but it made it finally to publishing. So it's actual text that we can all read and get access to. It reads like the Star Wars movie. Just take out the love stories and all that. And what's interesting is it talks about, again, these same galactic wars going on. People fleeing from that region of space, looking for other planets, Orion, Aldebaran, Sirius A, B, and C, which we know the Dogon talk about people coming from Sirius B.
The
which is a
Dogon tribe is
star that
something else, man.
ran out of fuel.
So anyway, so that's Billy Carson, guys. You ever get a chance, check him out. He really breaks down this stuff, and he like, again, he states his sources, and you can go look this stuff up and research it yourself. And also he will let you know when he's putting his opinion in there too. When he's like, I think it was this, I think that it happened like this, or it happened like this, or I think this comes from this or comes from that. He'll let you know when he gets off script, when it comes to some of the stuff that he's researched and all that stuff. Because it doesn't explain everything, but explains a lot. And
can I add that this is a well-known podcast? Like what's his name? Schultz, the comedian. He's a big time. So after the show, shout out to them. The flagrant. Is it flagrant comedy? Yeah,
like flagrant flips,
something like that. Very good podcast. But yeah, so this is Billy's been all over the place. Check Billy Carson out.
Yeah.
I haven't done enough Billy Carson research like Rashad has and my pops has, but every time I listen to him, he always goes back to stuff I've already looked into, and it kind of verifies what I think. But maybe that's and to explain, like, that's why I'm kind of like, I respect people's religion when it comes to Christianity and everything like that.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm also kind of like, I just feel the story is different, and I'm not saying you're wrong, and I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, for me, it's not the way. The thing that we focus on, especially when it comes to Christianity, that's what I know more about. I don't think our creator cares about that. Like the social justice stuff, he does not care about any of that. We're bigger than even our own vessels, so it's interesting to me.
Yeah, very, very interesting, and I like the way when he breaks down, because he's more of an expert in Christianity as well, because he's raised as a Christian, and he kind of breaks down just some of the crazy stuff that's in there, and you're just like, oh yeah, you're right, that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Wait a minute, if I do this, you're gonna do this you're gonna do that to me, but you're all powerful. What? Why do you care? You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. I think we're not really blaming God per se.
No.
We were saying that, like, the way it was written, we were told the wrong story.
Correct.
There's no way your creator would hate you for being XYZ,
nope.
ABC 1 2 3.
Nope.
There's bigger things to wrestle with as a creator than to care about that. So that's why I'm kind of like, man, let's get to business. And I think I appreciate you, bro. I never cared about the Anunnaki or any of this stuff. So the research I did today was fun. I'm definitely getting more into it.
Yeah, it's some pretty cool stuff, man. So I'm glad you took some time to get into it. I'm gonna try to do this TikTok stuff here. Give me 1 second so I can load.
Hopefully this works out. This is my favorite segment. My favorite stuff in general. I like the spooky, make it shocky stuff. And this is our Cap or Now segment. So if anybody's watching, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so you don't know what cat means. Cat means is fake, or it's a lie. It's not real. So that we're saying, so we're gonna look at these and like cap or nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it fake or is it real?
So if you think it's fake, you can say cap. You can if you have an iPhone, if you know how to work your phone, you can put the cat button in the chat. Yep. Or just say nah. If you think it's real, you're like, nah, that's it. That's the real deal. So you can let us know too.
Right.
Most will probably say it's cap, so we'll see what happens.
Probably, but we'll see. Let me go here. Let me close some windows.
We're trying TikTok because every long content video on YouTube takes all their things from TikTok. So I was like, let's just go to the source and see if we can find something that maybe we could get into and see what happens.
Right. All right. Okay, so I'll pull up the first one. Share my screen here. All right, let's see if I can make this bigger. That's what he said. All right, here we go. Did I miss something?
No, just keep watching. You hear that voice though?
Yeah. Hold on.
Go back a little bit more. Same floor. Elevators don't really do that.
No. Not unless there's something stopping the door making it do that.
And they got stuck in the stairway. They couldn't even get down there.
Although the sudden appearance of this girl is startling on its own, it's what happens earlier that's by far the most baffling. Immediately after arriving to the second floor, its door, for some reason, begins to open and close while staying on the same floor. But even stranger is that a faint voice is heard inside the elevator.
I'm pretty sure that was her that got the phone, but like that voice, it wouldn't stay there the same like the whole time.
Yeah, that was.
I think it's Cat. I think she probably was just standing outside.
Yeah, it's Cat. I don't know how she got that. But I can see she could probably just put something in the elevator that makes the door hit it, and then.
Only thing I could think is that because they said they got stuck in the stairwell, so you have to go by what their narrative was.
Right.
You gotta pull that over.
What's that?
Yeah, I think it's Cat too. I don't know. Yeah. Only thing I don't know how far like the elevator went down. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah, that might have been. Yeah, let's see this next one here. Oh, let me click on it. All right. Dang it.
I don't remember the videos I put on there. It's so long ago.
All right, so we're going to the next one. Share my screen here.
Bra. Ček, to ono opet.
To je likve piše. Is that a goat?
Oh no.
Dobro, daj. Nemam pojma, daj ga šutni. Daj ga šutni.
Neću se. Mislim da je pijan.
Ok, mislim da idemo. A on je dalje.
Fuck, si mu vidio facu?
Pa naravno da sam vidio facu, vidiš.
Nisam skužio, čekaj, kaj je bilo?
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know what that was. It's like just a guy in a mask.
Why is he walking like that?
It's probably their friend.
So it's Cap. We're saying Cap. All right, yeah, we'll go. Let's move along. Yeah, that's a weak one, in my opinion, anyways.
It's all good. All right, next one up.
Yeah, it's Cap.
All right. So Sergio says Cap. I don't know if you put these up yet. Oster, ferocious monster. Yeah. Like I think he just has back issues.
All they need is a good chiropractor, right?
Oh snap! Which one is it? Oh, I'm on this one. All right, hold on. Let me get this one set. All right, next one. Yeah.
Back from fishing when he captured this on video.
Yo, what the?
Move the words.
Somebody help me.
What the?
Anybody in there?
Bro. There's nobody in here.
I can say Cap only because
Oh.
yeah, like he didn't go like look in the stalls. He just said there's nobody in there.
Yeah, Cap. Yeah, Cappadocious. What y'all think?
Damn. I think it's Cap. I think yeah, she must have filmed in, right? Oh
Lord! All right, which one am I on? Is that the fourth one?
That's the third one. Try the fourth one. I don't remember any of these. That one, they're not good so far, y'all. We'll keep working on them.
We'll keep working on it. That's our deal.
Yeah, it's Cap.
All right. Dang it. All right. Go back to the screen share.
Is lying in bed when the most disturbing thing is caught on camera. Now, although she was terrified to the point of being paralyzed by fear, she tries her best to film this incident, and for good reason. Getting this on camera would be the best evidence she's had so far in trying to prove that something isn't right with her apartment. Her place is not what it seems, and it's for this reason that her children can't live with her. Things at home have gotten so bad that she fears for their safety, including her cats. In one video, Rosanna's cat does this.
Whoa.
Rosanna's choice to keep her family away from this place is mainly due to this and many other occurrences. But as of recent, something's happened that's fully convinced her to keep not just the family away, but also herself. It's late at night when this is captured.
She lives next to an airport. See, that thing
is that her bedroom? So weird ass bedroom.
Yeah. What? What the feezy? You need to keep the camera on that bookshelf. That's what you're having all your issues.
Yeah, I'm not feeling the bookshelf shit.
Oh, what was that? Is that an airplane crashing?
Now, Rosanna states that during this moment, she had seen a shadowy figure appear right behind the door. Soon after, she began to black out as though she was intoxicated.
Yeah, I'm not feeling this.
The entirety of this incident is without a doubt pretty freaky. But while it still remains inconclusive on what occurred that night, Rosanna is certain that she won't be staying here for long. Until she has the funds to find another place, Rosanna will continue to own this strange apartment and presumably capture more evidence of these happenings. But as always, let me know your thoughts on this one.
The kids drunk. I know, right? Yeah, right. How you gonna say that? No thanks. I'm not saying at the house getting drunk. None of that stuff, man.
So I'm saying Cap, but that was some that was weird. That was some weird shit. But I'm saying cats.
You'll say cat? I don't know, man. The getting drunk part though, I'm not. That's odd. But you know, I lived in a
I
haunted house.
lived in an apartment though. Like you can't just move out of an apartment. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, so you gotta do something. But no, when I lived in that place in Minneapolis too, we would get lit. So,
But you didn't like. Did you see shit like that though? Like the Flash? That shit is wild.
Nah, it never moved anything. It never physically touched anything. Yeah, you could just see it, but it never, you know, it never interacted with real, you know. You can't leave. Yeah, you can leave. You can leave.
Nah, yeah. I'm assuming one day I could see when she hit the rough to go. But yeah, I ain't living in nothing like that. If you're knocking my bookshelves off, I'm cool. I'm Gucci. I'm out.
Yeah,
you got it.
I think I don't even see. I don't know if ghosts can even do that.
That's demonic.
That might be demonic. Yeah, that might be demonic because ghosts, you know, those are they're not very powerful.
To be real, I'm gonna say probably cat, but man, that shit. All right, I'm gonna go with nay. I'm gonna go nay.
I'm gonna say nah.
Just be real with it. Yeah, I'm gonna say nah.
I'm gonna say
nah. That was it. That was some weird shit. That's the way the cat reacted. Yeah. You can't fake that.
Right. He said the evil 747 Southwest.
Man, whatever it is, man.
Or Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, there you go.
Airlines for
there
reason.
You go.
Oh man. All right. What else we got here?
Oh yeah, we got a couple more.
Okay. So I like this. Ooh, this is gonna be scary. Let's see here.
A trigger warning, this video did make me jump. This video comes from a YouTube channel called True Horror POV. This video was uploaded. We actually claim it was based on true events. I'm just gonna show you the video. Here it is.
Thank you. Support agency invoice aku satu kat dalam. Kau check ada betul tak aku check banyak kali Sel. Betul. Saya lah kau. Thanks support Thank you. Orang malam ni. Tu lah kata. Apa ni aku nak cakap kau Faisal aku lambat. Dia cakap aku kau OT.
I don't know, we put this one up. Nah, straight we hear this.
Aku nak hantar leleng semua packingnya aku macam push back. Sorry aku kasi kau balik kerja apa. Thank you. Okay. Kasih review. Bye. Okay, last.
Oh. Did she fall?
Oh, that was Cat.
And the lady won't open the door?
That was Cap. Yeah, lady didn't come. Lady would have been that far away from the door.
Yeah, Sergio's not feeling it either.
Oh, that was funny.
God,
let's do the next one.
They jumped out of nowhere. What the heck?
They had it hanging because she was looking down. Then she pulled the camera up. You know what I mean?
Oh man!
Ain't nobody looking straight down. They turn away. Ain't nobody does that. Why'd you have a camera on too?
I want me to log in. Hold on.
The lady was chatty. Yeah, she was.
All right. Hello. Be the chatty Kathy. All right.
It was fun.
Star named Valeria posted it. A famous TikTok star named Valeria posted a terrifying TikTok that went completely viral, in which a mysterious creature, most likely a mimic, is talking to her, trying to bait her out of her room.
Oh, I hate mimics.
I swear there's someone outside my room. Wait.
What happened next truly shocked her whole fan base. Later on, she explained that it has never happened before, and she was absolutely terrified. Keep watching.
Just trying to lure her out. turned down for what? Yeah. What? Why did it stop?
That's cat, but that shit was it's cat.
I
But that was weird. Like, there's a lot of them kind of stories though. Mimic stories kind of creep me out. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm cool on mimics, especially when the skinwalkers try to do it.
You think there's no skinwalker in your crib though, like that?
I don't think. Yeah, I've never heard of a skinwalker in the house.
So aren't mimics just like that's demonic, basically? Like you just go ahead and just lock that door and jump out a window, right?
Yeah. I'm not taking on a mimic. I'm not. I don't, because you know, like at least skinwalkers, they're flesh and bone. You know what I mean? Mimics, though, they're demons. What can you do to that? I mean, I guess you can put some salt in the doorway, stop it from crossing over.
What makes me not get it is why would they not just come in? Like why are they yelling hey?
Trying to lure you out. I don't know. I don't know, but they try to lure you into situations. I guess if you're, I don't know. It looked like it was a hallway.
Yeah, it's a dark ass hallway.
Yeah. So
if she just sat there and said hey to her like 15 times, man, you better close the door. Yeah. Why are you even playing around with that?
No.
That's the first thing I would have did.
Hey, people, keep salt handy. Just keep it on you. Keep it on you like you would your whatever you use to protect yourself. Keep that salt. Hey, we are the men of letters from the show Supernatural.
Right. Yes. Kill it. Don't play with them things. Go ahead and try to kill it. If you can kill it. Shit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And don't summon anything that you can't expel. So.
Oh yes. But no, I think that's probably Kat, but it is weird though with her voice. I mean, I'm sure,
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you think it might have been a doppelganger? Doppelgangers don't talk though, do they?
I don't know.
I don't know if doppelgangers talk. Can't remember if they talk or not. But I don't know. That I don't know. It's pretty freaky. I'm gonna say nah.
Okay, I rock with it. I'll rock with it. I'll rock with that.
Yeah.
The first 3 or 4 were very not. With the last 2, I think, they could have been. They're arguable for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, we got. You want me to show the backup video or the good video? I can show the good video.
So that's a story time. So if you want to, like, they're all pretty good stories. They kind of broke them down for you. You can do whatever you want to choose. You can talk about it. And the other one is really good. I think that'd be a good one to talk about. You see what I'm talking about? My favorite story.
That story.
That'd be a good conversation. But you can really run through that whole story-based video if you wanted to. We could talk about it. It has cryptids. The second story is not great, but the third one is really good. So
okay, that's one I'll do. I'll do that.
Okay.
About 10 minutes.
Yeah. So that should be it. And then we do that one. Then we do Jimmy C. We can kind of get people their evening back.
Yep. Yeah. 14. That starts at 14:43. Okay. I'll take it here. All right, and let me share my screen real quick. All right.
Before you go, so this is just our story time segment. So if you got any creepy stories you want to talk about, sure. Send it to us. You can email it. We'll get that figured out. You can email it to us. You can text it to us. We'll probably get Discord going. You can just like tell us on there some type of way. But yeah, this is kind of our creepy, weird story segments. Sometimes it's paranormal, sometimes it's just like people. So yeah, let's get it going.
Yeah, you can you can send it. I think we're Facebook friends, or at least Instagram friends with most of the folks on here. So you can just send it to our messengers. You got our phone numbers. Feel free to send it that way too. Sir, you don't have no stories?
That's probably good. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's probably a good thing. Yeah. Keep it that way, please.
Yeah. Trust me. Yeah, this stuff, man, ain't nothing to play with. That's for sure. All right, so I'll go ahead and start this story. So you said this is a story about a mimic, right?
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but go ahead. Yeah, let it play out. Definitely pause it when you want, bro. We can talk about it. That's whole reason of this shit. So
yeah, okay, bet.
So a little background before I get to the story. So my family and I moved into a new house when I was 14. It was newly built, and we were the first to live in it. It was my parents, my sister, and I. And throughout the years, we'd have family get-togethers and parties where everyone has a great time. When I was 15, however, at one of these family get-togethers, I was sitting in the living room with one of my cousins while everyone else was in the dining room or in the front room. The living room is connected to the kitchen, so no matter where you sit, you can always either see the trash can, which it had a flipped lid, or the table. While me and my cousin were just chatting, something caused us both to turn our heads. We saw the trash can's lid flip on its own. We got up to check, confused if anyone had gotten up to throw something away, and no. Everyone was still playing a game or chatting in the same space. We figured that it was the vent above the trash can that made it flip or something. Neither one of us said anything about it again, but we were both pretty creeped out by it. So we also had a babysitter who would stay with us occasionally because my father was on a tour in Iraq and my mother worked nights. I know it's ridiculous for a 14-year-old to have a babysitter, but my mother felt that it was necessary. Besides, the babysitter was only 5 years older than me, so I enjoyed our talks and time together. She slept in the guest bedroom for a while before I noticed that she started sleeping downstairs. One day, I asked her why she didn't sleep in the room, and her face turned pale, and she quietly asked, "Hey, have you ever had anything weird happen to you in this house?" I looked at her confused, but remembered the trash can incident. I didn't reply, though, and she just kept looking at me and then said, I'm probably going to sound crazy, but I think your guest room has something in it. I continued to look at her, not saying a word, and she continued. One night, I got up because I felt like something was just wrong, and I went to check on you guys, and you were both sleeping. So I went back to bed. Laying there, I started to notice the statue doll you have on the nightstand was staring at me. Like staring, but I turned around and I started falling back to sleep. And that's when I heard these whispers coming from the vent.
I need a beverage. Shells, you're watching. Can you bring me a beer or something?
Nah, I'm glad you paused. So if we don't have many people here, but this is a newly built house. Like no one's lived here. They built the house. They moved in brand new. And the first story, the trash can lid flipped, and they were like, "Oh, that's wild," but maybe it was a vent. Now the baby's you can, but think about it was under the vent, right? Like, oh, it's just a vent, maybe, right? Second story, babysitter is hearing voices in the vents.
So it has to do with the vents again.
A second conversation about vents.
So what was the? She said there was a statue though too, right?
A what?
There's a statue on the.
There's a doll. There's a doll on the that was staring at the babysitter, and newly built house. They moved in, brand new house. So it's weird that and I like these stories because you don't know if it's you can't really figure out where the perspective is coming from. I think that's kind of cool. There's always a guy talking, right? So,
yeah.
I need a drink too, but go ahead, bro.
Shell, do I have anything in there?
If y'all don't mind if I smoke on stream, I'm gonna smoke it.
Hey, man, go for it. let's see here.
You shoot her a text. We don't have many people
yeah.
in here today. I appreciate everybody in here though.
Yeah, Different just hanging out with us, guys.
We started late, and that's on us.
Right,
so I'm glad y'all start through it for us.
All right, let's keep going here.
Thought it was you guys again, but when I checked, you were both still asleep. She ended the conversation and went to sit on the couch, leaving me there kind of just baffled. But ever since that night, I started getting a bad feeling in my gut. When I was 17, we got a new dog who was a Chihuahua. She slept in my sister's room with her every night. And one night, I woke up to my sister just standing over me. And she said to me, "Can I sleep with you? The dog is freaking me out." I couldn't respond as I had just woken up and just kind of scooted over for her. In the morning, however, I asked my sister what had happened. She replied, "Well, I don't know. I was about to go to sleep when the dog sat up from my lap and just started whining and looking at the vent. She started barking, and that's when I took her and just went to your room." Again, I didn't respond. After
How come you not saying anything to anybody?
I was still thinking about it.
Hold on one second.
It only hit me then about the babysitter that we used to have. When she said, "I heard whispers coming from the vent." I tried to shake it off because a couple of weeks later, my little cousins were spending the night.
There you go.
So on one night, one of them slept in my sister's room, and the other, they slept with me, freaking me out. I couldn't respond as I had just woken up and just kind of scooted over for her. In the morning, however, I asked my sister what had happened. She replied, "Well, I don't know. I was about to go to sleep when the dog sat up from my lap and just started whining and looking at the vent. She started barking, and that's when I took her and just went to your room." Again, I didn't respond. After a couple of days, I was still thinking about it, and it only hit me then about the babysitter that we used to have. When she said, "I heard whispers coming from the vent." I tried to shake it off because a couple of weeks later, my little cousins were spending the night. So on one night, one of them slept in my sister's room, and the other,
thanks for joining.
they slept with me in my room.
Thank you.
I didn't dare want to sleep in the guest room, so
great to have you here.
I slept on the floor with my cousins on my bed. Eventually, I fall asleep, but my room was pitch black when I woke up in the middle of the night. But my doors to my bedroom closet were open as I had gotten out a blanket earlier.
Never leave your closet doors open.
I don't know why, but I suddenly started to feel nervous. I kept looking at my closet too, and I had an iDog, which was a robotic dog that you connected to your iPod.
Going good.
It would play out of the speaker from its
Appreciate
back.
you being there.
And depending on what music you played, it showed you its emotions by colors that.
Y'all remember iDogs?
Green was happy.
Oh
yellow
man,
was
what
for
a
mellow,
throwback! That's
and
more
red
my
was for when it
time.
was mad. I remember that
They were called what again?
iDogs. So you could hook your iPod up to it and play music out of it, and it would like make little emotions of like it was happy, it'd be like green.
Yeah.
If it was sad, it'd be blue, and if it was like red, it'd be angry. And they like kind of like walk around. I think they walked around. Maybe I'm making it up. Very like I think I was in maybe high school or like probably high school when they first came out.
Oh, okay.
No one knew about iDogs?
No, not me. iDogs.
Dang, iDogs.
Never heard of her. My iDog is still in the mail.
Oh man, I feel old and young at the same time. Yeah, that was a thing.
No, man, I'm about to.
Yeah, man, robot dogs. You could like hook your little iPod. Yeah, iPods. Remember that? Yeah, well, we had iPods. You hook it up, and they play music. And I don't remember if it like react to the music or how but it would be like it had like a certain color to it or whatever, and it make like a little like mood. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I don't.
It's
that.
very early 2000s type shit. But anyways, go ahead, bro.
Back to the story. Okay, here we go.
Touched it in weeks because it kind of ran out of batteries, and I hadn't got new ones, so I just left it on the shelf on the top of my closet. As I was staring into my closet, I started to hear growling, and I saw the iDog's face started to light up red. It barked and moved back and forth, and I reached up to my cousin to wake her up, but she was out of my reach, and I was too scared to move. So I just sat there, staring. And finally, it stopped. I didn't sleep the rest of the night that night, and in the morning, I threw my eye dog in the trash bin. Since then, I've kept my closet doors closed with a rope unless I'm changing clothes or something.
With a rope?
But
damn,
I noticed that there was a vent near the closet too. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this now, having almost forgotten everything, is because recently my boyfriend has been spending the night a lot. I'm 25 now and still living at home while I'm finishing school, and my sister lives in New York for the most part because of school too. My father and mother split up a while back, so he moved out, and my mum goes out a lot with her friends. So it's usually me and my boyfriend alone. My room only has a one-person fit bed, so we sleep in the guest room since my boyfriend likes to take up a lot of space when he moves around at night. One night, my mum was out of town for a weekend trip. I had just gotten out of the bathroom and walked into the room where my boyfriend was examining the vent.
Oh, shit.
When I asked what he was doing, he said, "Hey, I could have sworn that I saw something coming out of this thing, but
what?
There's nothing now. Maybe it was just a bug or something. Do you have problems with that sort of thing here?" I must admit that I didn't pay much attention since we decided to just go to sleep right away. But I woke up in the middle of the night because I just had a nightmare, and I actually just recently suffered from PTSD, so it wasn't uncommon lately that I would have night terrors or whatnot. But anywho, I woke up and looked over at my boyfriend who had his back against me and was snoring away. I got up to take some pills and returned to the room. When I did, my boyfriend was standing under the vent. I jokingly said, "What, did the bed bugs come back?" He didn't reply. I then sat on the bed, and the only light that was in the room was coming from the moon from the window.
So I'm pretty
I
sure
then
that the person
said,
who wrote the story is a female, right?
Yeah. So that's what I kind of like. We get the piece that together. That okay, it's probably a interesting.
Yeah.
"Babe, come back to bed." But he still didn't reply. Then I said, "Babe, you're starting to freak me out." He turned, confused, like, "Your mum is out of town, right?" I nodded, not knowing where he was going with this, and then he said, "Sorry, I don't mean to scare you, but it's the weirdest thing, but I swear that she was calling for help."
What?
"What? What do you mean?" I asked, getting scared. "Well, I heard her yell faintly for help, but it was coming from the vent." We decided that he was probably dreaming in the end, and we just went back to sleep. Well, he did at least. The next weekend, my boyfriend had fallen asleep first, and I stayed up reading. When I finished, I turned off the light and cuddled with my boyfriend. When I was just about to drift off, I could have sworn that I heard my sister call me. I looked up, and there was nothing there. I figured it was just me about to start dreaming, so I turned back to go to sleep. And again, I heard my sister call me. This time, it was clear, and I looked at the direction of the sound, and it was coming from the vent.
Of course.
I kept looking, waiting, and then I heard, "Over here." I knew I wasn't dreaming this time, and I knew it had whispered that. I immediately shook my boyfriend awake to tell him what happened, and he insisted that I was dreaming like he did the week before and tried to calm me down. He hasn't spent the night since because I don't want to sleep in the guest room, and I don't want to sleep in my room either.
Jeez.
I don't know what it is, but I just feel like the boogeyman is in my vents just waiting to come and get me, trying to lure me under it for something. And I'll tell you this much. As soon as I can, I'm moving out of here.
Yeah.
You can pause it there. So yeah, I don't know what y'all. That's a dope, but that whole like the whole breakdown. That's how you tell a story, though. You give some people some insight, and you say, "Oh, well, what prompt this whole thing was."
That's freak. What the hell could be in the vents though? Like, what could fit in a vent?
That's why when I put show notes that says ghost, mimic, demon. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
But bro said he saw something coming out of it.
Right. So what the hell did he see coming out of it?
Fingers? I don't know, bro. Man, I will move ASAP.
Yeah, I mean
tomorrow.
Well, now how old was she when she moved in there? Like 14 or something like that?
If I can remember, I think she was 12 when they moved in.
Well, okay.
So it was all good and it was all gravy for like a few years, and then she said at 15, and we're assuming she could be, whatever. They were when they were 15, they said they saw the trash bin move.
Right.
And guess what? It was under an event.
Under event.
And then what else happened? The babysitter.
Yeah,
babysitter said they heard voices in the vent.
Yep.
Then little sis came in and said the dog's keeping me out. That was the best one. When I heard the dog keeper, I thought the dog was doing something weird.
Right.
And now the dog was just reacting to the vent.
Yeah, yeah. For a minute, I thought she was gonna say. I asked my sister what happened the next morning. My sister was like, "What? I never went to your room, got the bed with you." Now,
that's what I was worried about too. That's what I was worried about too.
I was like,
"Please, oh shit, don't be that."
No,
but man. And then the last story when they were like over here, hell nah. Hey, first of all, I want people. That's how I need some people live in a haunted house. Yeah, I don't blame the room. I blame the whole. If it's one area I see something in, I'm not. It's a whole house.
It's a whole house. Yeah, it's a whole house. I mean, like the one that I dealt with, that thing was in the whole house.
Yeah,
it loved the stairs for some reason, but it was in the whole house. So yeah, pretty freaky. That's pretty freaky. Yeah. All right, so we got one more.
We'll do one more story.
So you said it's the Jimmy C story.
Yeah, this is very interesting. This is from another creator. So that first creator was B Buster. Shout out to him, fair use.
Shout out B Buster.
The second story is from another creator called Lazy Masquerade.
Oh, Lazy Masquerade.
And what's cool, we'll play it, and I'll wait to give the commentary, I guess, afterwards.
Okay. He said it starts at 12:20, 12:23. Okay.
Yeah.
Just queuing it up, y'all.
Yeah, it's a very interesting, like, what would you do type. I guess not what would you do. I guess just listen to it, but what would I do in this situation type.
Right. I love those. Like, fight or flight.
I will be right back, y'all.
Well, if you get. You good. I will get this queued up here. So we love these. Lazy Masquerade is one of our favorite narrators. He gets he usually gets the stories off of Reddit. And they're supposedly true. So I don't know. Anybody can write anything. A good creative writer and make it sound real. But I've been hooked on Lady Masquerade for years. And we were actually listening to Lady Masquerade the last episode with the thing that they saw at the lake up in northern Minnesota. So I love his narration, his voice, and all of that. And again, if you guys have any stories, any ghost stories, anything you've heard, anything you've experienced, please throw those in the chat, and maybe we can use that on some future episodes, or you can message us on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. So we're just waiting on Kobe to get back, and then we will get into the story. And let's see here. I think you're right. It looks like it's a 12-minute story. So, and then we'll pause it as we go and talk about it. And if once the story is over, then we'll dig deeper into it as well. So, looks like he's back. Bringing him on. All right, Kobe.
I'm here. My bad, y'all.
Sit your ass down. No, I'm playing. All right, I'll start it up right now. Jimmy C.
This has haunted me for a long time. I was about 19 or 20 at the time, and I was living in Savannah, Georgia. I had a crappy fake ID, and I drank a lot. I worked this terrible job as a grunt laborer, the kind where you go to those temp labor agencies like AbleBody or Labor Finders. I'd show up at 4 a.m., work until 5 p.m., and sleep after only taking home maybe $60.
Or
I was supposed to go into work this particular morning, but I decided to skip it. It's a labor agency. They'll just find somebody else. I call my girlfriend and tell her I want to go to Tybee Beach. I had already started drinking. She comes over and we hop in my big ugly van, pack up some rods and head to the beach. I decided to have a drink across from the beach at this little bar.
Bro likes to get it in.
This is where the story gets interesting. Shortly after ordering my drink, I get this really weird feeling. I become hyper aware of my surroundings. The door opens, and I see this guy walk in out of my peripheral
I know
vision.
this story.
There was a seat between me and my girlfriend, but it was like 9 a.m., and the bar was completely empty. He could have sat anywhere else, yet he chooses to sit right between her and I. Then he starts doing this thing with his fingers.
Why'd they have a seat between
The
them
bar
though?
top was
I
removed.
always think that. Every time I hear this story, I wonder why they did that.
Like,
I've
why?
never done that with my girl. I've never been like, I'm
No.
gonna sit a seat away from you.
Never. Maybe the homie. You know what I'm saying? But
Maybe the
girl?
homie, but like,
Maybe the homie. But
if
usually
you
being the
if
homie,
you're
they're
with the homie, if you're with the homie, you're right next to him, or you're one guy standing up, or
Yeah.
like you don't like. I'm not. So I always wonder that about this story.
Yeah, that's odd, but okay. We'll keep it going.
And he takes his fingers like two little legs and just starts walking with them, skating them on the top of the counter. This isn't something out of the ordinary, but I took notice because when I was in school, I did that all the time. I pretended I had rollerblades on my fingers and that I was skating around my desk. I hated school and was always distracting myself. So I'm watching him do this, and I became kind of mesmerized for some reason. That's when he looks at me, and in this really thick, kind of Germanic or Nordic accent, he says, "I notice you're a man who pays attention to details. Me too." Now, before I continue, I have to describe this guy. He had this short, spiky hair with bleached tips, kind of like a late 90s style. He had really expensive clothes on. A nice Prada leather jacket, nice designer jeans,
G'd up on the
really
floor
nice
up.
boots. He seemed like a kind of gay guy with really awesome fashion sense and
Not
really
that there's anything wrong with that.
taste. I always remember this because I think to myself, some weird homeless crazy guy couldn't afford clothes like that. The other thing that stuck out were his eyes. They were piercing grey. It reminded me of a husky's eyes,
Sergio.
but his pupils just stayed this disturbing pinpoint size. They were just extremely small, which caused his look to be kind of terrifying.
You weird.
His teeth were normal, right? But not at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. They were sharper than they should be, as if they had been filed slightly. His hands were normal, but his fingernails were slightly long and pointed, as if he deliberately did it. He kept licking his teeth too, as if he were salivating. The thing about this guy is that you look at him, and everything seems normal, but...
You know what he... Man,
So what y'all think? Wait, man.
Yeah, what y'all think? What do y'all think about that description? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
I gotta pull that up.
He said it was Jeffrey Epstein.
Low key though. Damn.
Yo, okay.
The things that I think about this story, and I'm like, he became super hyper aware,
Mhm.
and I'm wondering if that was me. I probably would have left the bar. Like if I would have seen him walk in, and like looked at him real quick and like, oh, it's time to go. It's time to go. Pay my tab out.
Yeah, like, bro, what's wrong? What's wrong? But you don't feel that? You don't feel the evil in the air?
The minute I would have felt that and looked at that dude, and he sat between me and my girl, but nigga, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I had a problem asking him, what are you doing? Like, you gotta move around, bro.
There would be a minor confrontation.
That would have been a problem for me.
Yeah.
That would have been a problem for me.
Definitely. Yeah. All right, let me keep it pushing here.
But off at the same time. So you're left questioning if you're crazy for thinking this. This guy then begins to start talking about the relationship between me and my girlfriend, but really strangely. He's talking about how beautiful she is and how I should pay her more attention. Admittedly, I was kind of a dick to her. Shortly after he began talking like this, I had this almost knowing feeling come over me. Like I knew this guy wasn't human. I look at my girlfriend and say,
Heard that.
You need to leave. She just kind of looks at me like she knows too. Without a word of protest, she gets up quietly and leaves.
How come they didn't both leave?
Later I learned
would've
that she
left,
went
bro.
next door
Yeah.
to get a coffee. That's when this guy literally says to me with the utmost confidence, You were supposed to go fishing today. He points at the beach across the street. If you had, I would have drowned you in that ocean.
Oh my God.
And
Pause
I
it
shit
here.
you not. He fucking hissed at me.
Okay. That's wild right there. But would you want somebody to say that to you? It must have been some type of like you keep seeing that feeling that came over him. I'm wondering if that made him more docile. Because someone said I would have drowned you in that ocean. I was like, now if I got hands, or if I got my gun on me, what you talking about? You want to drown me?
It's not a run to fade.
It's time to get it.
Yeah. That's. But the fact that he knew that.
That would have scared me.
Yeah, like.
But if you would have walked, I also think like you would have walked up to a bar, you see a van with fishing poles in it, or I don't know, man.
Maybe, but how do you know that he didn't go? I mean, probably because it was so early, I guess. But still, I tell you what, you a bad MFer if you think you can say that to me and get away with it.
You gonna drown me in what ocean?
You can drown me. I'll pay to see that. All right, let's keep it pushing.
Literally says to me with the utmost confidence, You were supposed to go fishing today. He points at the beach across the street. If you had, I would have drowned you in that ocean.
My bad.
And I shit you not.
As you should.
He fucking hissed at me. Again,
hissed at him.
for some reason, this overwhelming calm had come over me. I just ask, Who are you? He answers back with this crazy, guttural language. It sounded Arabic or Hebrew or something. For some reason, without skipping a beat, and I have no idea why I was so calm to this day, I just ask, say it in a way I can understand. You can call me Jimmy C. I jumped off the San Francisco Bridge years ago.
Bruh.
And we've
Keep
been
note of
watching
that.
you. From there on out, he never referred to himself as me or I, only we. The conversation became something very strange after this. He kept buying me drinks too, specifically whiskey sours.
Why are you chilling with this
It was like
dude?
he had an endless supply of money. He smoked Marlboro ultra-light cigarettes. After I don't know how long, because I lost sense of time, I told him I'm going to leave. I walk next door to get my girlfriend, and she's stone silent. We start driving home, don't say a word. Then I just ask her, do you know what that was? Yeah, that was a demon.
Whoa.
This girl had parents that were scientists. She was really analytical, completely non-religious, and that was the first thing out of her mouth. Now, I didn't say this part before, because to me, this is the most important aspect of the story, because it's what happened after this that really screwed me up for fucking years. The last thing this Jimmy C guy said to me before I left is this. Look at my car. I look outside and see one of those newer Volkswagen Beetles. It was white. What does the license plate say? I look at the plate, and it literally says, fierce. He looks me dead in the eyes and says, the next time you see me, I'll be driving a black Mercedes, and the license plate will say Utopia. Stupid, right? That night, I was still calm. I don't know why. I felt like that guy on Office Space after his hypnotherapist died right in front of him, and he was weirdly zen. My girlfriend started having terrible nightmares of this guy's head just staring at her in her dreams. Weeks went by,
wild.
and that's when the encounter started affecting me. I found myself becoming paranoid about that black fucking Mercedes. Every black car I saw, I checked if it was a Mercedes.
But he didn't say what he
If
do
it
to
was,
him.
I immediately
Yeah, I
looked
ain't
at the
trying to see
license
him
plate.
again.
I started doing it when I was watching TV or movies as well. Now, I'm gonna fast forward a bit. About 10 years go by. I'm 29, so this is just recently. When I'm alone, when I'm drinking, I often think about this encounter. I still look at black Mercedes every time they pass, but I'm not so much anxious anymore, but curious. I remembered that my girlfriend at the time always kept a journal. By now, I'm pretty sure I'm insane. Maybe I was drunk. Maybe I'm not remembering any of this correctly. After years of trying to find news articles of a Jimmy C that committed suicide off the San Francisco Bridge, years of looking at black cars and so on, I felt like I'd grown out of it, so to speak. Yet still, I had to know. So, last year, I tracked down my ex-girlfriend. We ended on bad terms. I find out she's a school teacher in Wisconsin, has married a woman, and is actually trying to have a child. I figure she's not gonna talk to me, but I send her a Facebook message anyway. I ask her if she could find the journal from that day, because I have to know if her events line up with mine. Sure enough, she had it. It verified everything I remembered, and it contained even more details than I recalled, because she had written it at that coffee shop right after it happened. When I read what she had written, literally that day, I knew I wasn't imagining the details wrong, that this actually happened. This is probably the single most frustrating and scary thing that has ever happened to me.
Now, these are supposed to be true
I
stories,
want to
y'all.
imagine it's just a normal, crazy guy. But unless you saw it, felt it, and heard him talk about all of the little details of what you were supposed to do on that day, when only you knew it, you just can't understand the impact of it. It's been 10 years, and my only solace, really, is that my ex-girlfriend was there to corroborate. That communication, where I reached out to her, actually caused us to be on good terms again after a decade. It seems to have been something that bothered her just as much as it bothered me. And still, to this day, even though I'm living 10,000 miles away in Southeast Asia, I can't stop thinking about Jimmy C's twisted face. I wonder if he still crawls on my back, and if the fear I feel at night, often to where I have to drink myself to sleep or find a one-night stand just to not feel alone, is him or them watching me.
They're watching.
So, just to kind of get into a little bit, you can pause it now, bro. That's a story from, I think it's No Sleep, Reddit or some shit. They tell like their true stories. And what's weird about this story is that I can find it just to play it for you guys. There's an update on this story.
There is, isn't there?
Yeah, there's an update, and you can actually, if you go to the video, you can go into the description. There's notes to it. They find a car. I think it's in San Francisco that just got recently repaired with that was a Mercedes Benz with a license plate Utopia.
Well, yeah, Utopia. Where is it?
We gotta put it on the next show. We can
Okay, yeah, we'll do the update on that.
We can spin the block on it. I can see if I can find it, but yeah. So that's a very interesting story. I don't know. What do y'all think? Y'all think it's a demon? Shit. I'm not trying to be funny about it. I don't know what that thing was, honestly.
I mean, as far as I know, humans can't become demons. But what do I know? I don't know. I only know lore and mythos. You know what I mean? But my understanding is that humans can't become demons, and humans can't become angels.
He said he jumped off the San Francisco bridge.
Right. So he committed suicide. That's a hot spot for suicides.
That's what I was. You already said it. That isn't. People, you know, the mythos, right? So that is a portal to hell. If you jump off the bridge, because that's like the top place people commit suicide.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting.
That's very, very interesting, and I'm always open to learn new things. Human souls can become so corrupted that they become demons. That's new news to me. But yeah, that's crazy. Who's we? Who are we talking about?
We been watching you. Yeah, that's weird. I'm not feeling that. Not feeling that one bit.
Yeah, and then he was and we just kind of glossed over the part where he was speaking in Hebrew.
Yeah, he said some guttural Hebrew Arabic language.
Yeah,
and then he said, "Stayed in a way that I can understand."
Like he knew to say that, like just like an instinct. You know, so I'm saying in a way I can understand. In Hebrew, that's a dead language, right?
I don't think the dead language.
I think Hebrew's a dead language.
No, I don't know. I don't know if that's a dead language or not.
Anybody in the comments? What you know?
I would say maybe Latin, the dead language.
Yeah, Latin is. Let's see. I'm looking it up right now.
I think people speak Hebrew like
no, it's not a dead language
in the synagogue.
But it was dormant for almost 2,000 years.
Okay.
It was originally spoken by the Israelites as the first language until after 200 BC.
It kind of made me think, what was that movie Stigmata? When she's speaking that, like, you know, that I don't know, I don't want to be disrespectful. I think it's Hebrew, you know, Arabic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Okay.
Yeah, man, it's an interesting story. I'll get the update. I'll find it. It's out there. They definitely discussed that there was a car. I don't know, got fixed, or some car got fixed. I may not be in California either, but it kind of. I'll look into it. But there's definitely a little note about it. Someone definitely did the research on it. No Sleep is a dope Reddit. I need to get into it, and we'll get into it. Actually, that's what we're gonna do. We'll get into it, and maybe we'll read some stories that we find interesting. But man, yeah, definitely, I like to hear some ghost stories or some weird stories. People you encountered that you end up finding out later the serial killer. All that stuff. I find all that stuff very interesting.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, bring it all. All the things that go bump in the night. We love that stuff. And then, and then obviously we talked about ancient civilizations and ancient man and the Anunnaki, false gods, all that stuff. So, if you guys want to hear more of that stuff, just let us know. We will definitely cover it. And then we're gonna get more into Billy Carson next week, and then we'll do the update for that story too. That was a
Yeah,
good one. That was
yeah.
Jimmy.
We'll follow up with that. We'll figure it out if we're gonna follow up with the book of Inky, I think
Enoch.
it's called Enoch, or the
Yeah,
book
but there is
of
a
the
there
god
there is a
Inky.
there is a book of Inky too, which
Yeah,
is really
yep,
good.
yep.
That
Yeah.
tells the whole story. That's
You
like a
can
3-hour long video though.
Oh, this one's like, yeah. Watch this one and let me know if that's something that you're used to,
Okay.
or
Oh,
that's,
they truncated it.
I think they did. But we'll get into. I think we'll do that one. Then we'll get in Enoch. Billy Carson gets into it pretty good. We can break that down, and then also people are watching. If you see something creepy, send it to me, Rashad. If you want us to react to it, and you can say if it's cap or not. And yeah, that's always good. We'll kind of keep this going. So
Yeah,
this is fun, man. I had a good time.
yeah. So yep. See next weekend. I don't know. Let's pause next weekend because Sis will be
Okay.
in town. So we'll do it the weekend after. But yeah, so we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. And again, we will have the Shell and Shot show on Friday because she doesn't get here till Saturday. So we'll do
Okay.
that show.
Yeah.
But
Well, and then I guess we'll have some videos out, just other stuff that we've kind of looked at and react to. So yeah, appreciate y'all joining us.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for coming, and we're right about the 2-hour mark, so that's perfect. Thanks for putting the show notes together, Kobe, and the videos. Appreciate it. Sergio, showing love. Then thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate everybody that joined. Remember to share, like, and subscribe.
Yes.
And
and if you can, we'll in the future we'll get there's a YouTube channel specifically for Brandon Letters. So if y'all could just go ahead and like that, because in the future that will be the main channel we throw everything on. So yeah.
Okay, I like it. We are good. So again, we'll see you guys in a couple weeks, and make sure you check out and subscribe to that channel. And then we're good. Good job, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all. And, I think my little thing is don't whistle at night. You know what I'm saying? Keep yourself safe.
Please, and thank you. All right, brother. I'll let you know.
Peace.